Scientifically, by my calculations, my ass sure is late. But when it comes to seeing one of the coldest motherfuckers in anime, or, well, Pokemon history, I think I came right on time. Yes, the future is now, thanks to science looking ass nigga I am. Hey guys and gals, Gaming here, and today once again we are back with another reaction video, and this is a little different because guys and gals is a different man. We here with Wheezy, the coldest trainer in all of Pokemon, is what he has made for us today. And it's about that motherfucker from X and Y. And let me say, X and Y was honestly the best Pokemon anime. I mean, like the Pokemon series, in my opinion. That shit had the fight scenes, that shit had the story, that shit had one of the cleanest lineups Ash Ketchum has ever had, because that motherfucker barely leveled up his Pokemon apparently, or at the very least, let them hoes evolve. And let me just say, guys and gals, I say that with a lot to go, because I hate Ash Ketchum a lot, because he could have made Oshawott Cohen the Samurai, my anime main character, no, not main character, my favorite Pokemon. I love Oshawott, I like Duat, and I am a fanatic for Samurai, aka my partner in Pokemon, let me just say. But anyway, guys and gals, original video is in the description down below. Check it out, and let's get this shit rolling.
Who's next? One at a time, one at a time. Mr. Alain, how was your battling so consistent?
My whole life is consistent.
Oh my god! Me next. The league is taking notice to all of your bling, Alain. We gotta know, are they real VVS?
Come on now, you know my stones are mega.
Bro.
I got a question. I'm not buying all this aura farming nonsense. We know you're a mega merchant. When will you finally realize that your ass is not in an edit?
Oh, that shit look. Wait. Shit.
So
this yeah.
Cool ass brother Alain will be the first installment of the Kalos trilogy arc.
Oh yeah.
Unearthing the most
insane. That motherfucker needed an edit.
Insane characters, battles,
and that shit looked too
and my
good.
Guy, this dude's misguidance is almost as high as his aura. A true champion of a broken path. And to understand him fully, Professor Sycamore's lab assistant. Shit, if I ain't know any better, I would have thought this kid was also his son. Look at these two motherfuckers. This show already tried to fool me once, but I'm really Morty in this bitch, bro. Y'all are related. Son or not, Alain was an innocent little boy who deeply cared about Pokemon and his research. This man was so wholesome, one of the first things he does is rescue this rabid, wild, ugly ass Gibble and bring him to the professor like a stray puppy. I don't care what it becomes, my nigga. You gotta have a different type of heart to love this thing. Look at this naughty ass runt.
And that motherfucker for 5 fucking minutes and it just causes a damn
ruckus, damaging all that expensive ass lab equipment. So Alain was working under the prof for a minute.
And it evolved.
At least long enough for this badass Gibble to evolve twice. But one phenomenon caused Alain to abandon Sycamore and the lab for good. Mega evolution. When a Pokemon holds its Mega Stone and shares a strong bond with its trainer who must also have a Keystone, Mega evolution becomes possible. Now this was the topic of Sycamore's lab research.
And X and Y.
The idea of it interested Alain greatly. Because he basically told Sycamore, fuck this lab research. I'm in the fields with it. I'm about to go find my own Keystone and see what this shit is all about. And just like that, my guy just straight up and left. And this ironically brings him from having one Mega Evolution obsessed mentor to another. Alain gets a lead that this random ass ruin could hold a Mega Stone, so he pulls up to search for it as the first quest of his new journey. But when he shows up, he finds nothing until he hears a rich ass voice that says, looking for this? And it's the
that
Ginger
nigga.
Stallion CEO, Lysandre.
Yeah, he had it.
Exact Ampharos he was looking for.
He one of the best villains in Pokemon too, bro. I can't lie.
Little man, and this stone right here is all yours.
Like now, X and Y had a whole.
So he says, "Let's do it."
Just had aura to it.
To pounce on Pyroar, but unfortunately,
they got their shit whacked.
Whooped this nigga's ass so bad and rendered him so psychologically vulnerable that he left him with one thought that would change his trajectory.
Strange.
To achieve what you dream of, you must become the strongest.
And that sentence right there altered Alain's brain chemistry permanently, and he gets invited back to Lysandre Labs, where Lysandre explains that he has the goal of harnessing Mega Evolution energy for, and I quote, peaceful means.
What the
Alain
fuck?
thought to himself, let me do my DJ Khaled shit real quick
They
and
don't
create a
have-
super team,
They
and
just-
goes,
why do they
"In
have
that
an
case, you should
old
ask
ass
for help from
fan
Professor Sycamore."
when they could have
What a
something
fucking
better?
suggestion.
I mean, what we do is very dangerous.
I know he
Alain,
got money.
and we wouldn't want to put that pretty boy professor in harm's way now. What if somebody evil got a hold of our data and targeted him?
And Alain ate that shit up completely, and he said, yeah, that shit would be horrible. But then Lysandre offers Alain a deal too sweet to pass up.
Why don't I
Charizardite?
make your journey to the top a little more mega?
Oh yeah,
This man knows he was
Charizard
about to
X.
hit the jackpot.
A keystone and a Charizardite. Help me change the world for the better, and it's all yours.
And you could probably guess what happened.
That
This
nigga
man
took
unknowingly
it.
signed the fattest 360 deal in Pokemon history. This mega ring that he wrapped around his wrist collected excess mega energy from his battles and sent it straight to Lysandre to harness.
The nigga sold his whole soul for that black Charizard bad shit. Can I blame him though?
And as we
That
flash
shit
forward
is
to
clean.
the present, we see he
Way
is
cleaner
already
than
putting that
Charizard
stone
Y.
to use as he is in the middle of battling this blonde girl named Astrid and her Absol. And as you can see by the ice, she's a Mega Stone user as well. And if you were curious as to how much power is unlocked through Mega Evolution, please direct your attention to the Mega Charizard's Dragon Claw that misses but still even tries to return with that weak ass Dark Pulse.
Must mean-
but
okay,
Alain
now
was straight
click.
spamming.
You
He
cut
must
it.
have
You cut
visited
it by
that granny
accident,
at that
maybe?
one waterfall on Sevilla
But
Islands, 'cause Charizard
I know
hits
he
a
was about to
motherfucking
talk about that
blast burn.
impact.
So it's clear Alain may have lost the plot and even lost some social skills in the process. Like shortly after this battle, he ends up meeting this little girl named Marin, who was watching his terroristic battle and couldn't contain her shock. She
Which
was
is
like, "OMG,
kinda
hi,
odd.
I just watched your battle and
But I mean,
wow,
she's a
I've never
kid,
seen
so
a
it's like,
Charizard like
ah.
that before. You're incredible. Probably the second most incredible trainer I've ever seen."
Yeah, she
One
started
time there was
glazing
this
a
trainer
bit.
with a Pikachu who saved Professor Sycamore's Garchomp from a rampage. Speaking of the professor, I got my partner Chespy from him. And this man Alain heard that whole giddy rookie ass story,
All here was the
including
professor.
mention of his ex-boss, and all he responded with was, "So do you want to battle or what?"
Oh,
My
oh.
nigga, she's rocking a chestman. Let your guard down for 1 minute. Now, after talking with Marin for a bit, he ditches Marin and pulls up to these dusty ass ruins, and sure enough, a shiny Mega
This
Stone
shit is
was
chipped.
etched into the walls.
What did he
but
do?
as he was leaving, now wait just a minute.
Was
Is
certain
that a
parts
Mega Stone,
copyrighted
little
or
boy?
something? Too much footage?
Maybe this'll change your mind. And he not only sends out a Garchomp, but flashes
It's
his
Mega?
Keystone.
Oh, okay.
And that's all it takes for a Mega Fiend like Alain. He sent out his Charizard with the quickness and said, "Then it'll be a battle between dragon types." What an amateur! Charizard ain't no damn dragon type.
Watch this shit, watch this shit.
And they waste no time, straight Mega evolving off rip. Garchomp slides in early with that Dragon Rush, but Charizard breaks free and hits him with Flamethrower from the sky. Garchomp tries to fly in for a dual chomp, but Charizard just ducked and weaved, then parried his shit with Dragon Claw. They both nosedive
God
towards
damn.
the ground, and after just staring each other down, Garchomp was
Oh!
Slow your roll, kid. Chespy do not got that in his bag. But Alain decides to
Yeah,
do the big
Chespy
bro
can't
roll
do that
and
shit.
oversees her attempt
But
at catching the
it
swamp.
could have had an evolution like Greninja
actually
did.
seems a little human.
With the
She tries it
power
at
of
first with Pin
friendship.
Missile,
But they
Alain
ain't
from
put
up
that
top
bitch
is
that
like,
far.
"What type of weak shit is that? You gotta hit it with a status move. Then it'll be easy pickings." And y'all really try to be on my ass about show mechanics ain't game mechanics. Listen to this nigga after she catches the thing. "You best get to the Pokemon Center to deal with that poison." Sound familiar?
Oh yeah, your
Alain
Pokemon
went
dies.
ahead and ditched her again. And what was the reason he left? It's also given an extra boost due to Mega Blastoise's newly gained ability, Mega
What?
Launcher, which
What the-
powers up all
Yo,
pulse moves and
yo, what is happening, bro? Are these clips skipping or am I the problem?
Sound familiar? Alain went ahead and ditched her again. And what was the reason he left? It's also given an extra boost due to Mega Blastoise's newly gained ability, Mega Launcher, which powers up all pulse moves.
I gotta be
But
on
no,
drugs.
matter of fact, his blind hunger for power only got stronger and actually landed him in Hoenn to pursue the original source of Mega
Hoenn?
Evolution, which was a mission
okay.
assigned by Lysandre off a lead from an ancient stone tablet.
Hoenn
And within
lead.
5 minutes of Alain and Marin's trailing ass landing there, look who they fucking find.
Is that Dragon Man
Oh
himself?
my god, what the fuck are the odds of that shit? This is like being in the UK and just randomly finding like James Bond or KSI or some shit. So Alain somehow doesn't know who this man is, like he's living under a rock or something. Well, I'll tell you what, he definitely ain't living under a stone. But he takes one look at this keystone like, "You're a Mega Stone user."
As are you, apparently.
Well, let's cut the chit chat, old timer. Let's get active. This nigga don't want no autographs or nothing. I would have been in that bitch asking for a picture at least.
I might have got a picture or two, but I would have went down the business,
but I'm
bro.
actually
Because how often do you get to fight a champion like that?
That nigga is cold. That nigga is cold. So out comes Charizard and Steven's signature shiny Metagross, and
Metagross?
both of them get right to it by Mega Evolving. Charizard makes the first move with the Flamethrower, but Metagross uses Psychic to simply redirect that bitch into the sky. Had the boys looking like Defoe. Metagross gets in an early Flash Cannon and even lowers Charizard's special defense, and the levels were starting to show. Charizard then gets
level
into the Dragon
difference?
Claw, but Metagross hammers him into a rock with Meteor Mash. Charizard's able to recover and slams a Blast Burn, but Metagross's Steel-type ass takes it like nothing happened. They both then decide to close in on one another for one more clash, but
Whoa.
Pyroar suddenly gets in the middle of it all.
What's his name? Gexus? I forgot his name.
Enter Lysander.
Lysandre.
So Lysander steps down, interrupting the battle, and introduces himself to Steven before saying, Alain, you dumbass. This is champion Steven Stone, a very important person and a potential business partner in our research. So
And if you
Lysander
let our
gives Steven
fight
that BS speech about
continue,
one of the
he could
hardest
have been
Mega
an
Evolution energy
immediate
for
business
peaceful
partner.
means, and they realize that they're after the same giant rock that's said to hold the origin for Mega Evolution. So after exchanging information, they conclude that 1, it's located at the top of this floating island, and 2, that the gate to said floating island can only be opened when 2 keystone holders meet. And sure enough, Alain and Steven combined their efforts, and a prism staircase stretched into the heavens, and at the top, the giant rock revealed itself. Then Lysandre wastes no time. This dude gets all his researchers to set up a field operation with army-like quickness, and immediately starts gathering data on the rock. A little sus how quickly he got that shit running, but I digress. And the researchers find that the giant rock had the same energy pattern of a big-ass megastone. But if it's basically a megastone, you might be wondering, where is its Pokemon?
Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, these niggas done summon Rayquaza. This legendary green serpent pulls up from the heavens,
That's his
uses the
Megastone?
giant rock's energy to fucking Mega Evolve, and begins to rampage. I don't get paid enough for this! So now obviously Alain and Steven gotta deal with this Giga threat, but this is where we quickly learn that there are levels to this Mega Evolution shit. I mean, look at this dude Charizard rising up into the air and using Flamethrower. Rayquaza just slithers around that shit with ease, then Dragon ascends straight into him. Charizard obviously falls, but before these guys can even recover, Mega Rayquaza
The
follows
fucking
up with
maneuvers.
a fucking Draco meteor like he's trying to blow up the entire floating island. This fucking spawn of Satan almost killed the whole cast of the series before simply flying back into space and devolving like nothing happened. Not only did this man almost kill everything on that island, but more importantly, according to Lysander, the giant rock disappeared. Holy shit, bro. So now a lot may have happened, but Lysander's evil ass's biggest concern is still obviously, where the fuck is my shiny ass rock? And my biggest concern is why you haven't subscribed yet. Nah, I'm just kidding. But he sets up a Zoom meeting with Steven, who's at his dad's billionaire HQ, aka the Devon Corp, and they get to discuss it. And after sharing more info, the conclusion they reach about the rock's location is absolutely insane. They find a similar energy pattern being emitted off the shore of Rustboro City, except suspiciously, 2 entities were also closing in on its location. What were those entities?
Team Rocket?
Well, you know, just Groudon and
Kyogre.
These 2 motherfuckers have been going band for band on Twitter recently, and now they are both going in to fight over the rock. And this wasn't just any old scrap. These 2 were about to have a throwback fight. Not only did they revert to their primal forms,
because then Rayquaza is automatically gonna have to get in the mix of that.
It's the reason they originally fought in prehistoric times. So Lysander obviously wouldn't want anyone to touch his precious rock, let alone these 2 threats.
So they were after a mega form.
To investigate the situation with Steve.
But they only got so far.
Was just too much.
Probably because both were intercepting the energy, which is why they have that glow form.
One supercharged legendary. You can't possibly think you can take.
So yeah, that might be why they have only that glow form. That's basically their Mega Evolution. But the reason they only have that glow form is because both of them were there at the said time, and they were both sucking up energy, I assume. And they were trying to fight over dominance over the shit.
On 2, what if Charizard loses? Or worse, what if you die? And this man, Alain, really heard all of her crying and concern and said, I'm not your damn babysitter. Now get the fuck out of my face.
Is this nigga serious?
I mean, goddamn, bro, tell us how you really feel then. So as planned, Alain and Steven fly over to where the battle is about to begin. And as predicted, the giant rock begins to form in the middle.
He knows what he's built for.
Lysander gives Alain private orders that
investigate from above ain't enough, and that he
needs to get in the mix and protect that shit. And this was not not what Steven was expecting, and he was like, nigga, have you lost your goddamn mind? But it was too late. Alain was already getting active, and Steven had no choice but to join in. Steven volunteered to take on Kyogre while Alain took on Groudon, and to start, things were actually going decent. Alain was weaving through precipice blades, hitting flamethrowers, Metagross was landing powerful meteor mashes, but this shit was obviously not easy. It looked to be decently even until...
Oh, god damn.
Alain obviously starts tripping and doesn't hesitate to jump out the helicopter to the iceberg to check on him. His tail has clearly dimmed, so he has to return.
He gotta return.
But as he turns around, he finds Groudon wrestling Kyogre like he's fucking shark wrangling and tossing towards Alain before erupting towards him and knocking him out. So out comes Marin, who infiltrated the ship on some GT pan shit, and she's trying to rescue Alain as Steven holds off the others.
Okay.
But it's clear that this shit
not
is
enough.
grip. And at the peak of this tension, the giant rock takes its full form. And where the giant rock forms, so does you know who.
Let's go!
And you know what happens when Big Papa shows up to the battle. Groudon Kyogre all of a sudden joined their efforts trying to deal with Rayquaza, but shit is just not hitting no matter what they throw at this thing. I mean, look at how shook these motherfuckers look. What do they say? Chrysler 300 looks like a Phantom till a Phantom shows up? Hello. It did not matter what these two attacked bro with. He was hugging everything. When the cameraman starts doing shit like this, just know it's about to get techie, and boom! These two
what did I
so
say, bro? The angles in this shit.
And despite it looking like everything has settled down, there's still one wild card
Pokemon X and Y was
lurking in this plot. With the quickness, a Lysandre Corp submarine shot up a capture net and seized in the giant rock within 5 seconds. And the only explanation from him to Steven is,
yes, fucking finally! Sir, you're live. Yes, Steven, since our last encounter, I've developed a meticulous method for sealing off the rock's radiation to prevent future incidents. So I'm going to bring it back to research for...
He's speaking a lot of bullshit.
Brought that shit back to Kalos. So now that he's faced the Hoenn Big 3 in 2 days, Alain shares a thankful moment with Marin after she saved his ass. But even so, this nigga abandons her again to follow Lysandre back to Kalos on his ones.
Wait, so they just left her in Hoenn?
Ladies and gentlemen, the manipulation just continues. Lysandre tells this man,
Alain, I know it may seem that I sent you on 2 suicide missions in 2 days, but I hope you know that you are my star employee. Now that I have my shiny rock, you are officially a part of how we'll harness it.
For peaceful means.
You know
For
me
peaceful
so well.
means.
God, it just is hard to watch. Lysandre then suggests that Alain takes a little break before continuing his missions, but Alain opts to do the literal exact opposite. This man is 4 losses and 1 draw in his last 5. My brother's form is relegation worthy. So he instead asks Lysandre for the unthinkable. A gauntlet of 10 Mega Evolution trainers versus this man Alain with no breaks in between. Where if he loses at any point in these battles, he must forfeit his Keystone and Mega Stone. First, it was this Weevil Underwood looking ass and his weak ass Grass Frog.
Bro, come on. I love Mega Venusaur,
then it was Jafar from Aladdin and his partner.
But it wouldn't be my main. Okay.
Heracross, Scizor, Ampharos.
Cook.
It did not matter. My nigga was on
Akron.
but
that shit do go hard.
Absolute massacre. Who finds her way back to him but Marin? And she must have caught this man in the worst possible moment. Cause she goes, Alain,
like this nigga
I'm
going
back.
brutal.
Are we gonna continue our adventure? And this man Alain snapped on her for the last time. How many times do I have to tell you to fuck off? I want to protect you, but I'm not strong enough yet. But I can't get strong enough to protect you when you're around. And that was the last straw. Marin
like that shit don't work.
Sulking in a stairwell in the lab and tells Chespy that she wants to be alone. This mean ass bully Alain done broke her heart. So she starts
can't get strong if she's around.
Space and
but he's trying to be around to protect her.
A random cry that ends up being from a Zygarde core. This nasty ass booger would go on to become Squishy. But as he's snooping, the lab experiment goes haywire, causing a bunch of Delta energy to burst and expose Chespin to that radiation. This glowing green chestnut felt a connection to Squishy now and ends up freeing him from the Lysandre lab scientists. But unfortunately, he was so drastically affected by the radiation that he was put in a coma. Meanwhile, Alain is finally against his final opponent in the gauntlet, and it's up against another Elite Four member, Malva, and her Mega Allergy. So she starts talking shit like, I heard you lost to my guy Seabold with your bum ass. And Alain's like, He had the type advantage, bitch. Now bring out that Houndoom. And don't get me wrong, their battle was cinema. I genuinely thought he might catch another L, cause Charizard tried a flamethrower, but that shit was met with flash fire, basically meaning Houndoom just ate it up like a sick fuck and used it to fuel him. Not to mention Houndoom was putting the paws on this man Charizard. That crunch put in some work, enough work for Malva to start questioning what we all want the answer to. So like, why do you want to be strong?
Why are you pinning him down like
mega
that?
Shit, what's the point?
They doing doggy
style? Still being cryptic. He was like, none of your fucking beeswax. Now hold this fucking blast burn. And he was not lying. That flash fire did not do shit against that motherfucking ult. And Alain emphatically completed the gauntlet. Now, even though he was unclear during the battle about what his purpose was, after winning, he at least says that he can finally protect the ones he loves. And ironically, when Lysandre asks who that is specifically, word about the Chespin situation comes to them. And it is looking grim, ladies and gentlemen. Even Sycamore pulled up to see what was going on and finally meets Lysandre. Despite this reunion of everybody that he knows, Alain can't even bear to turn the corner to face them and runs off. After all, in a sick and twisted way, he is partly to blame, and this emotional vulnerability puts him exactly in the same situation as the start of this arc. And Lysandre once again swoops in and promises to help him recover under one condition.
Alain, it's all up to you. You must complete the Mega Evolution system in order for us to heal him.
What is the connection? His manipulation knows no bounds, bro.
The radiation
goes
versus
to continue
the
his
Mega
Mega
Evolution?
Adventure. So now
Like,
instead of
no
what
real
seemed to be a decent
frequency
little healing arc, Alain is arguably in a worse position now.
But I mean, how is he supposed to know
in
entirely?
Pursuit of power, he still couldn't protect what he cared about. And to make matters worse, he's even more wrapped around Lysandre's finger than ever before.
Exactly.
And after cutting ties with the only real beacons of humanity in his life, at this rate, he seems to be stuck down this path for good, with no one left to save him.
Wait, Mr. Ketchum himself.
Unless I'm telling y'all, you're gonna want to sub and turn on post notice for this next one. This story is far from over. To hold y'all down, the Lake Acuity video is now live on Twitter. I tried everything, y'all, and I don't have Patreon video access yet. Just hit the highlights tab on my Twitter for both my vaulted vids. Also, I appreciate y'all for the love on my first IG post on my birthday. All of the kind messages really meant a lot. But until the next installment, I'm gonna catch y'all very.
Oh, so this motherfucker doing it like a game. He got 3 installments, and this was only the first one. Okay. Yeah, he did say something like that in the beginning, bro. I just ain't pay attention, I guess. But yo, this is what I really love about X and Y, bro. Like, in the next part, I think he's gonna go over. Oh my gosh. In the next part, he should be going over things like this as like a rival thing now. How Ash and him are, you know, going and how they correspond with one another. But also continuing the story of, you know, just him and Lysandre and all of them. But maybe he even might go into some of the things about Ash Ketchum. Because the things about Ash Ketchum in X and Y are really, really nice. The fact that he gets certain Pokemon, he's honestly the most strategic in this series. Like, I can't lie with you. I cannot lie with you, bro. And besides that, I just feel like this series altogether not only had the best animation, one of the best stories, one of the best villains. Like, I mean villain teams, but it's like, it was just peak in general. Like, they just knew what they were doing with those fights. Next thing you know, next season of Pokemon, it ain't giving me what I used to love. The action, the animation. Like, god damn, bro, when you get to certain fights in X and Y, you'll be all like, yo, the animators really put work in this shit. They really put blood, sweat, and adoption papers in the mail to do this shit. That's crazy. That's why X and Y always gonna be my favorite, you know, season of Pokemon. All honesty, bro. Yo, Pokemon gotta get me in there, bro. I can't lie with you, bro. I haven't seen the newest season though. Pokemon, what? Not Horizon, but it's like Sword and Shield, but it's called something else, I think. With the girl now as the main character. I don't know how they fight scenes are, but shit, when it comes to X and Y, that shit got it got the crown to me, bro. It got the crown to me. But anyway, guys and gals, I hope you all like, subscribe, and enjoy this one video. And if you did like, subscribe, don't forget to hit that bell right by my subscribe button to get my notifications for upload next, so you guys can see some more Wheezy or more of anyone, because you even can leave a recommendation down below and let G get down to business, aka watch what you send him, and next thing you know, you can see his reaction, whether it's wacky or cracky or maybe just, okay, not neutral. I always have a different type of reaction to something, but a reaction to something. But anyway, guys and gals, like I was saying, I'm Gaming T, I get GT, and I'll see you all later.